What's up, everybody? This is Spectacular Smith, and welcome to the Spectacular Experience. So as a CEO in your company, you have to figure out what type of leadership qualities you're going to have to lead your team. The best leaders actually understand how to communicate with each different person on their team to motivate them, to keep them inspired, to know how to actually connect with them, like show them the things that they don't even see in themselves. And that's what a great leader does. So it's not about, pushing your weight around and acting like, you this big person. The best leaders are servant leaders. Look at Jesus. Jesus was a servant leader. Do anything for his people. Leaders eat last. They don't eat first. A lot of people got the whole mentality of a leader twisted. Like they think that, you're supposed to eat first and, everybody's supposed to be under their command. And that's not what a leader is about. A leader is about pulling out that inner person, that inner beast in the people that's around you that don't even understand that even exists inside of them, and pull it out of them so they can bring out the best in themselves and push them, motivate them, drive them, to accomplish things that they never thought they could accomplish in life. And that's what a good leader does, man. And, it's not the first person that, got all these people just walking up to them, serving them and like feeding them grapes and all this stuff, man. That's the old days, man. That's not a leader, man. That's not what a leader do. What a leader does is they make sure their people are taken care of. They care about them. It's not about who got the biggest bank account. It's about who's accomplishing the best things and putting the best foot forward and doing the things that they feel like is best for them and their family, and try to motivate them, drive them. And that's what it's about. That's what it's truly about. When you actually helping somebody and you seen them from A and you got them all the way to Z, and then that they would have never been that type of person without you pushing them, man, that's a beautiful thing. People that's in my office, some of my team, like if they was, I tell them this all the time. If you was to meet the person from 3 years ago to now, the person you are now, you will run circles around them. As a leader, that's what you want. You want your team to grow. You want your team to learn. And you want your team within 3 years, you can look back at it and say, wow, that person is a amazing, even more amazing person now. They was good, but they went from good to great. And they went from great to unstoppable. And that's exactly what you want as a leader. Lead your team. Make sure they understand what's the mission, what's the values. Because a good leader got vision. But you got to communicate that vision with your team. If you don't communicate that vision with your team, then you got some people going left, some people going right, and nobody is on the same direction. Everybody's going different directions, and that way you're not working in harmony. But once you understand how to get everybody aligned together, that's when you start seeing greatness, because now everybody understand. Everybody's moving at the left foot forward, the right foot forward, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And then you start gaining that momentum. Then you create that snowball effect where everybody just on the same page. You know what the next person is thinking because y'all so much connected, and you understand what's that goal, what's that mission. And then you're executing on it together. Nothing can stop you once your whole team know exactly where y'all gotta go. But you gotta write it down. You gotta write it down. You gotta know exactly where you gotta go and what steps it's gonna take to get there. And as you start taking those steps are gonna change. Some of them. Even your team might change because everybody don't get that vision. Everybody don't want to be on the same mission. But when you get those key people who want to be on the same mission as you, it's amazing. People that want to grow. In my company, I always tell people, grow. That's what we need. We need to grow fast. We need to mess up, fix it, learn from it, write it down. What happened? Why did you mess up? What was the solve? And figure out how not to make that happen again. Once you understand how not to make that happen again, then you can pass that on to the person that's under you, and then the next person that's going to replace you. And then you can start growing like that. But you got to understand, why did you mess up? What did you learn from that situation? Because I love failing. I love when my team fail, but it's when you learn from that situation. If you just fail and you're not learning from it, Oh, come on. You wasting your time, you wasting my time, you wasting the company time because you're not learning from your mistakes. So that's one thing I always push for my team. Learn from your mistakes. Try new things. It's always about trying new things. You don't want to have something that was working 20 years ago and now you're out of business. Like, you don't want to become Blockbuster. You don't want to become Toys R Us. You got to figure out what is that new thing. Blockbuster. You got to understand when Netflix is coming. Either you're going to buy them out or you're going to duplicate their process and put your own spin onto it. You got to know when Redbox is coming. Blockbusters should be on every single corner of the mall or in the grocery store or any convenient places that people go all the time. That should have been Blockbuster. Netflix should have got bought out by Blockbuster. Oh, you don't want to get bought out? I have enough money to duplicate that process. Toys R Us, they should have been online figuring this thing out, not coming up with partnerships with Amazon. Figure out your own way to innovate and take what they're doing and take things to the next level for your brand. But once you actually let them in on everything that you got going on for your e-commerce, then you gave them a business model they knew nothing about. And now they used it against you. Now you're bankrupt. That's how it works, man. So you got to figure out how to innovate yourself, and how to see what people are doing around you and add that to your business if it fits your business model. Don't get left behind. Always test new things, because as you're using that 80% that's really working, you want to always take that 20% and actually test with that 20%. And as that 20% is becoming executed on, then you can replace what was in that 20%, and you can start moving it up to that 80%. And you just got to test. And that's how you win. That's how you get breakthroughs, because as you're doing this research and development, you're realizing that, oh my God, this little test I did just blew up. Now you get to put a lot of budget and a lot of attention on that. That's what it's about. So leading your team, making sure that you have all the tests going on for each department. Always test. Don't never use the same message. 5 different messages, test them out. Always test, no matter what. Never get comfortable on what you're doing. All that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the dumbest thing you could ever say in business, especially this day and age. Things are changing all the time. All the time, where you don't know what's the next thing. So you got to always be testing, because one thing could be working 1 month and then the next month totally don't work no more. But if you were stuck on that same thing and you wasn't testing, or you don't have any vision to see ahead, what you should have as a leader, you should understand what's coming 3 to 5 years ahead and know exactly what's going to happen before it happened. Being in Harvard Business School, they taught about strategy, and they talked about CrossFit and all the things they was doing at CrossFit, not getting that shiny syndrome effect. They see something shiny, a shiny object, and they go run into it. You still got to test within your business model. Actually, the owner of CrossFit, a guy wanted to sell shirts, and the guy took off. It sold like 1.4 million shirts within a year. But then he shut it down because he felt like he was chasing shiny objects. And that's not what you need to do. And he focused back on his core model. And at that time, I think he had like 1,000 shops focused on that. Instead of releasing proteins and t-shirts at the time, he put more focus on his business model and figured out more things to get more customers and more innovative ways to innovate within his business model. Now, CrossFit is one of the biggest things right now when it comes to fitness, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company. So listen, I appreciate everybody listening to the podcast, and I just want you guys to rate it. If you guys like it, send it to somebody. Send this link to somebody that need to hear what I'm saying right now. And let's keep this thing going. Love y'all. This is Spectacular Smith, and I'm signing off on the Spectacular Experience. Let's go.